Hello, everyone. Hi, this is Anand. Welcome to Career Talk. Today, I'm here to talk about online video interviews. I had this opportunity to conduct more than 25 interviews in the last few weeks. And there are a lot of learnings that I have as an interviewer. Because when I spoke to the candidates, there are a lot of things which I observed, which I thought I will share with the community so that you all can benefit, because in this post COVID world, most of us are facing online interviews or video interviews, right? So the first and the foremost thing which I noted is that not everybody whom I called were prepared for a video interview. I mean, they were told earlier that they would get a call, but they were not prepared. And I tried to tell them and schedule a time with them. And I tell them, okay, I will call you in the next half an hour, or maybe in next 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Are you prepared? Some of them said yes, but then when I called them back, they were not prepared. Okay, so the first learning is, when somebody calls you and schedules a video interview, you need to buy time. Okay, if you're not prepared, just tell them you're not prepared and you need more time. Maybe call in this next half of the day, or maybe call tomorrow or another time, right? So be prepared, because in a video interview you need all of the setup in place, right? You need a quiet room. You need to be in place, in a place where you can get focused. There is light on your face. Your posture is visible, okay, to the interviewer. And try to keep a stage where you can place your phone, okay, some solid surface where you can place your phone or laptop from where you're taking the interview. And don't try to hold it in your hand. That's not possible. It will shake a lot and it will create a lot of disturbance to the interviewer. So first thing is, find a quiet place after you have scheduled the interview. Make sure there is no disturbance, there is no noise. You have a solid surface on which you can place the device. And then always keep a notepad and a pen, okay, because there will be questions asked to you. There will be questions around some examples or some queries, right, or some logic for which you'll have to use a pen and a paper. So make sure that you have that in place, right? Another important thing is to keep uh, some backup in place in terms of network connectivity. There were a few folks who lost interview in the middle. There were a lot of disturbances or network issues. So if you have a Wi-Fi, make sure you have a data plan in place as well as a backup, right? Because if it's a video interview, it has to be done with your video on, and there should be sufficient bandwidth, right? So keep a backup in place, right? If your Wi-Fi goes off, you should have a data plan in place, right? So these are some of the basic things in terms of your setup that you should be aware of. Then always keep a copy of your resume that you have sent to the company, right, where you have applied. You should make sure that you have a hard copy, or a soft copy with you, so that you can refer to what the interviewer is reading, right? And when the question answers start, or when the interviewer starts to interact with you, make sure that you look him in the eye, right? Like what I'm doing right now is look directly into the camera. So you need to look at the camera and not at the screen, right? If you start to look at yourself on the screen, it doesn't look good. So if you're interacting with the interviewer, look him or her in the eye, right? And that is how you give them confidence, right? So you need to look in the camera directly, not on the screen, right? That's a very important point. And when you answer, don't shy away from looking into the eye. Just don't look away and think, don't be afraid of looking into the camera, right? Even if you're thinking, ask them some time that you need to think over an answer. There's no need to be in rush. Sometimes the silence, right, the silence or the time required to think may be very disturbing. You might think that, oh, I am taking maybe a minute to think, but there is nothing wrong with it. Just go and tell them that I need more time. I need more time to maybe use a pen and a paper and come up with an answer. They will be quite understanding. They will give you enough time, because at the end of the day, remember, the interviewer is interviewing you, and they have called you, so they are interested in hiring you, right? They just want to evaluate your skills, experience, your confidence level, your body language, right? Why would anybody want to do an interview on a video and not on an audio? Is because they want to validate that you are the person, right, uh, whose CV they have got. You are the person they're going to hire. So they just don't want to validate your technical skills, but they also want to validate your personality, right? So another aspect that comes into picture is what you are wearing for an interview, right? There's nothing wrong in wearing formals even if you are at home, right? If you are wearing a t-shirt, that's also okay, but try to be groomed well, right? Try to look presentable, because the interviewer would imagine you or visualize you that if they hire you, right? If they hire you and if you come to office, what would you look like, right? And then there are some questions, which are known questions, which you would know that the interview is going to ask you. There's no brainer, right? For example, there will be questions like, tell me something about yourself or about your background, etc., etc. Now, sometimes what happens is I've noted when people start to answer these questions, they just go on and on. They don't know where to stop, right? So they tell about themselves, they tell about their family, they tell about their education, they tell about their projects, etc., etc. They just go on and on. And as an interviewer, I'm not going to stop you, because I want to see, if I have asked you about yourself, what are those 2 3 important things that you want to tell me. But if you tell me everything in that particular answer, it's kind of giving me a message that you don't know what are the key things about yourself that you want to present. Okay, so make sure that your answers are crisp and to the point. All right. Next important thing is that when you are uh, giving an interview, you should have that integrity in place, and this is a very sensitive thing. And I've noted that sometimes people try to buy time because they want others to help them in the interview. Now, this is a big no-no. Okay, I called one candidate, and the candidate told me, "I'm busy. Can you schedule an interview tomorrow?" When I scheduled the interview next day, and when I was talking to this candidate, I figured out that there was some whisper going on. Okay, which means there were people or somebody around that candidate who was trying to help him give right answers, and that's a big no-no. Okay, believe me, as an interviewer, we have lot of experience behind us to figure all those things out, and these are things which you should never do. Okay, so when you are fully prepared, fully confident, then make sure that in the interview you are on your own. Okay, and you're not seeking any help. Don't even try to act smart and keep a laptop or something to query answers, etc., etc. Never do that. Okay, these things will backfire. As an interviewer, people have a lot of experience to see through it, right? These are some of the important things which I have noted, and I've done a lot of video interviews recently. And if you have any questions around any specific things, you can ask me in the comments. I can answer those in this session, or I can answer them even after the session. But what is important is to make use of this opportunity, right? And learn from every experience. Sometimes it is important that even if you don't know all the answers, you know how to speak and you know how to conduct yourself. That leaves a very lasting impression on the interviewer. All right, guys, this was it in this short session today. I hope you found this helpful. Do comment and let me know what do you think about it. If you have any other questions, you can subscribe to the channel. I'll be here next week on the weekend. See you next time. Till then, take care. Bye for now.